Thank you for joining us. We're about ready to begin. We're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you for joining us today for the 2017 Ethics in Action Video Competition webinar in Flash Chat. We are really appreciative of all of you joining us here today. And I just want to cover a little bit about what we're going to talk about. As you can see here, we have 6 items to cover today. Very briefly, what is this contest about, how you can get involved, how to pick a topic, film and editing tips. I'm going to go ahead and show you a very brief example of one of our winners from this year. And then I'm going to open up the floor for some questions and answers. So what is this contest about? 6 years ago, the CPT launched this video competition because we are always looking for new tools and resources for our students and our professors and just all of the stakeholders involved. We decided that this would be a great way to challenge our students to come with us with ethical dilemmas that they are passionate about. So how this contest works is that students submit videos about an ethical dilemma that they are passionate about or they're interested in learning more about, and you are entered to win our cash prizes. This year we have a little bit more than $4,000 in cash prizes between our 2 categories, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that later, a little bit more about that later. So who can participate? This competition is open to all students if you're enrolled in an undergraduate or graduate class, you can participate in this competition. We've had students submit videos individually. We've had them submit videos in groups. We just want all students who are interested to submit their ethical dilemmas and their topics that they want to put out there and just challenge their peers to talk about and discuss. So I'm sure that you're wondering, how can I get started? So it's very easy. You can just log in to our studentcpt.org/video competition website, and as you can see, we have a couple of different tabs with information. We have about the competition, the rules, judging, important dates, and you can also go back and look at some of previous year's winners and just entries as well. We also have a playlist on our YouTube channel with our top 15 videos, just some of the videos that we think portray some really great concepts that you should keep in mind, just editing and filming and style of these videos when thinking about your entry. So any question you may have can be answered on this website, but feel free to also reach out to us if you have any questions about your specific video or just about anything in the throughout the process. Submitting your video is also done through this website. We are accepting YouTube files, Vimeo files, and Vine files actually, but our most popular option is people are submitting YouTube files. So once again, just to reiterate, you film your video, you upload it to YouTube, you share that link on this website and submit it, and you're good to go. Picking a topic. We always encourage students to pick a topic that they are passionate about, something that maybe you've experienced or you've read about or that you've heard or seen, just anything that you think would be relevant. But in the past, we've had students get stumped and say, well, I didn't submit one because I didn't really know what to talk about. So this year, we've come up with a brief list of different topics that I'm going to start showing a little bit and then talking a little bit about here. But we don't want you to feel limited to just these topics, but if you are having trouble coming up with something to talk about, feel free to go through any of these. So as you can see here, we've included having difficult conversations, resume padding, which there's actually a great video from this year's competition on there called Resume Padding if you want to take a look. Courage, ethical culture, peer pressure, legal versus ethical, because as you know, there's a fine line between things that are legal and ethical, as well as ethical diversity, gender equality, and ethical decision-making process. So once again, this is just a little list that we came up in case you need some inspiration, but we really want to open up the floor to our students and see what you're thinking. What do you think you're going to face when you enter the workforce? I know that a good friend of mine who is in New Orleans recently got in touch with me and said, oh my gosh, I just started this new job. She's about 1 month into her job working at a big firm. And she said, I am dealing with this dilemma. I never thought I have to go through this. What is your recommendation? So ask around, talk to people. If you're working with a group, maybe you can have a brainstorming session and see what you can come up with. Film and editing tips. Again, since this is our 6th year, we want to kind of compile what worked, what hasn't worked in the past, and we've come up with a couple of bullet points of what we want to encourage versus what we want to discourage. So please submit a video that demonstrates a clear ethical dilemma, solution, and action. We're not necessarily asking you to resolve the ethical dilemma, because in our experience, we've seen that open-ended videos, so if the problem is not resolved, make for great discussion starters. So don't feel that if you find a topic that you are passionate about that you have to come up with an answer, because that's what we're here for. We're here to help you navigate these potential ethical dilemmas that you will face when you enter the workforce. Does your content reflect an original and thought out concept? Is it creative, and is it a high quality video? Now don't be discouraged by this high quality concept, because it's not that we're asking you to go and come up with a Hollywood type film. We're just really needed to just be clear and not pixelated. Sometimes when you're transferring data from a phone to a computer and vice versa, quality and resolution can be lost in the process. So maybe you can explore some free resources like Dropbox or using a flash drive when manipulating the content, so that you can ensure that the quality stays true. Do not submit. So this is also important for us to cover very briefly, but we've also, in the past, we've gotten videos that discuss the plots of sitcoms or movies, which is great, but students are actually acting out the plot itself word for word. So if you do find a sitcom or a series that you're passionate about, for example, I know that I love Scandal. Let's say that I saw something on Scandal that I thought, okay, this would make for a great video. How can I bring that back into my life? Not necessarily just acting out what you saw on TV, but how can that be applicable to what I'm going through right now? Maybe bring it back to a class or to an internship interview. How can you make it a little bit more original and not just using something that you've already seen happen? We want to remind our students to not be profane or vulgar, and especially during this time, we want to refrain from any political references. As we've already talked about, please make sure that the quality of the film is not pixelated. And finally, we want to encourage you to film on your smartphones, because smartphones and tablets now have some really great quality. But if you are going to do that, just remember to do it horizontally and not vertically, because when you do submit the vertical film, it stays vertical and it has some black boxes on the side, and that kind of loses some of the quality of the film. We are always trying to brag about our students and just share the great work that they're doing. So some of your work may end up being presented at conferences, and we just want to make sure that we can get the best quality that we can to brag about our students. So right now we're going to go ahead and look at an example. This is one of our winners from the short film category of this year. So we're going to go ahead and hear what this video is about. so that was an example of our short film winner this year, The Motherhood Penalty. And I think that it came out a little bit choppy, but feel free to Google Motherhood Penalty CPT 2016. This is also on our YouTube channel, and you can see it with a little bit more, less choppiness. So just for reference, this video was actually presented yesterday at a conference by our president, Alfonso Alexander, in an auditorium of about 400 people. People were really blown away, and these are the people that are making these cash prizes and different types of funding for organization possible. So you never know where your content's going to end up with us, so make sure you submit your most creative work. So once again, you can see all of our videos on our YouTube channel as well as on our website. And then we also create a playlist of our top 15 videos. If you want to see them, feel free to email us at info@thecpt.org. Finally, I'm going to open up the floor to any questions. And if you do have any questions later on, as I just said, please email us at info@thecpt.org. We are always ready and available to help, as we like to remind our students on these webinars. We are invested in our students' success, and we always want you guys to be prepared and just have all the resources you need. So feel free to reach out with any questions you may have. I don't see any questions coming in through our chat right now, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you so much for everyone who participated, and we hope to talk to you again soon.